Hiya, I'm about to head off to the mountain, so I'm recording this, and in an hour or two's time, we'll be heading down to St Pancras to catch a train down to the Alps. And this is for Luke and I, my son. This is our annual kind of pilgrimage to the Alps to go skiing. You can probably see my skis handily put in the photo back there. I love the mountains. There is something about the mountains that it has such a draw for me. And I was reflecting recently on mountains in the Bible because they're all over the place. And it seems that some key things happen in the mountains. So think to Noah is one of the first ones I think about, where once the ark has been afloat for 40 days, and the waters begin to settle, and the ark lands on Mount Ararat. Wind forward a little bit to Abraham. And God says to Abraham, go up onto this mountain and sacrifice your son. And it's believed that that's Mount Moriah, which later becomes the Temple Mount. Or Moses. Where does Moses receive the Ten Commandments? Mount Sinai. Go on to the New Testament. What's Jesus' most famous block of teaching? It's the Sermon on the Mount. And on it goes. The transfiguration of Jesus is on Mount Tabor, we understand. The crucifixion is on the Mount of Crucifixion, we call it sometimes, don't we? Golgotha. And then, of course, the Ascension, which is believed to have happened from the Mount of Olives. So there's something about mountains. And in that time, we hear so much about high places. The Bible often talks about high places, so that other religions at the time would have their important places, their temples, in these high places. In Psalm 121, what do we hear? I lift my eyes to the hills. Where does my help come from? It comes from the Lord. We think of looking up to the hills, to the holy place, to somehow where God resides. And I guess I've been thinking, as I'm about to head off again to this place, the Alps, that I love, what is it about it? What is it that's so special? And for me, there's something about the horizon, the grandeur, the beauty of the most incredible views on a clear day, being able to see, almost like you're sort of standing on top of the world, being able to see miles and miles in every direction. And for me, there's something about that stills me. The awe, the grandeur actually makes me just slow down, literally slow down. My thoughts settle. I'm stop thinking about everything that's happened or things that are about to happen, and just able to be still and present. And that's one of the key things, isn't it? To be able to experience the presence of God, that we are present. And so for me, I think one of the reasons that I love being in the mountains is I know I'm going to encounter God because of that sense of awe that stills me, that slows me down, that says, God is here. I've had some amazing experiences in the mountains of God's presence. I remember many years ago, one of the first trips I went on with Luke, and I dropped him at the ski school where he was learning to be a snowboarder, and I'd gone off and I found a cafe, deserted cafe, high up with this incredible view of Mont Blanc and the surroundings. And I sat for about an hour, just still in sort of gobsmacked wonder. And I had a real sense as I was sitting there at one point that as I was kind of just soaking in the beauty and the grandeur, that God was in me, looking out through my eyes with me, saying, yeah, isn't this great? And it was like, wow, what a great job, God. This is just so beautiful. But that sense of having God in me, looking through my eyes, seeing what I was seeing and just reveling with me in it. There was another time in the summer, once in the Alps, when I climbed a 2,500 meter mountain with a friend. It was a tough all-day climb up and down. And when we got to the top, the view was so 360-degree view was so stunning. We could see Mont Blanc to the south, the Matterhorn way over to the east, we could see up to Lake Geneva, the Jura Mountains, into France. Incredible, incredible view. And we sat in wonder for about an hour, just not speaking, just soaking in this and being present without thoughts, without having to process anything. And it was the most deeply spiritual experience I've had. So what is it about this? Why is this sense of awe something that stills us and brings us present? And how do we get it without going to the mountains? And for me, it's also sunsets. I will sometimes stop the car if I'm driving and just stop and allow, a beautiful sunset, just to be in awe of it. Or how about the stars? When there's a clear sky, we can just go outside, get out of the light pollution and be awestruck at the stars. So my challenge to myself, my challenge to you is let's do that more. Let's allow the awesomeness of this planet that God's created as a gift to draw us into his presence, to have that awe that stills us, that helps us to become present, so that we can know his presence as we live in the present moment. So wish me luck on my journey, and no accidents this time in the mountains, but I'm looking forward to being there, to experiencing afresh the awesomeness of God's creation and the awe of being in the presence of my Creator. Bless you.